Hey, welcome back to the channel. It is Sunday evening, the 21st. Strongsville, just got back from Strongsville. Actually, got back into Michigan last night around dinner time. Had time to go to dinner with my wife. This morning we had some things we had to take care of at our place up in South Haven, made the drive home. And I'm just now getting around to making the video. Realistically, I'll probably post this tomorrow morning because it's actually getting kind of late, but it's going to be a busy week because I took Friday off to go buy baseball cards. So I wanted to get the video recorded tonight. Strongville itself was just amazing. And I know I'm probably one of the last guys that's going to be posting some of their recaps. And I know you're going to see a lot of this. So I'll try not to be too repetitive. But the show itself, although it was a small, tight area, the amount of vintage there was just, it was amazing. Not just the amount, but the quality of the vintage. It was cool. But for me, the best part is I got to see, 50 fellow content creators over the course of the 2 days. I'm not going to be able to make the national this year. I have a family commitment that just won't allow me to get to Cleveland for that. But so this was my opportunity to get out there and see everybody. And it was great. The great thing about it was, we had a content night where there were at least 50 people there, and, everybody was talking and trading cards and meeting each other. And, I got to see a lot of the guys I had met last year at the National for the first time. And I got to meet some new content creators or new people that I haven't had the opportunity to meet before. So that was awesome. But the other thing that I'll tell you that was really cool, for me at least, is as you're walking the floor, because it was a relatively tight and confined area, you couldn't go up and down a row without seeing another content creator. And the great thing about it is you could call them over and they can ask for their opinion on cards, or somebody would pick something up and they'd literally be stopping in the aisle and looking at what other people were having. And it was really cool. It was really cool. So, as a card collector, it's what the hobby's all about. So that was amazing. Loved it there. Saw a ton of people. I'm not going to do a complete list of everybody there because it's about 50 people, and we're already probably 2 minutes into this video. And B, I don't want to forget anybody, but it was fantastic seeing everybody there. I do have a few shout outs. First shout out is to John from John P. Collects. John drove down with me and back with me together. And it was actually John's idea about going to Strongsville together, and I may not have made the trip. So thank you, John. Had a blast. We talked family, we talked life, we talked baseball cards and baseball for 3 hours each way. So had a great time. Thanks, John. Shout out to you. Shout out to Chris from Missouri. I think, Chris played the lead role in making sure that night was set up where we had the content creator night, and that was fantastic. So thank you, Chris. And then that shout out to Jason, Everyday Card Collector. Jason's got a new channel. Jason's a great guy. He's got a fantastic new channel, so you got to check it out. Jason and I collect a lot alike. He's a great guy. We hit it off. Turns out he's like 45 minutes away from me, so we do plan on going to do some card shows or card shopping together at some point. But Jason, I just want to say thank you. First of all, you bought my first drink. And then I think the bar was a little behind because there were a lot of people there. And Jason, after about an hour, went up to his room and came down with quite a few cold beers, and he made sure that myself and John were hydrated. So I appreciate that, Jason. Next time I see you, my friend, I owe you a beer or two. So anyway, it was unbelievable. I love the event. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this camera and I'm going to show you my pickups from Strongsville. So let's take a look. Okay, so before I went to Strongsville, the weekend before I went to Strongsville, I actually made a pit stop at my LCS and just to see what they had. And you know, I can't walk out of there without any cards. So I'm going to share 3 cards I picked up before Strongsville. The first one is this 1974 Jim Palmer. This one's in really great shape, and so I was happy to grab that one. I also picked up this 1966 Bob Gibson. Look at that beauty. And then the last card, and this one I was most excited about on that trip, was this 1961 Gibson. So got a real good deal on all 3 of those cards. Kind of got me in the card shopping mode, and then we went to Strongsville. So Strongsville was amazing. First of all, I got a couple collector's cards. So Theo gave me this autograph. I'm starting to collect content creator cards, and I love this one. I have one from John signed. I should have got one from Sammy. He was there. But this is a cool card. And then I got this one from Mike Moynihan. So look at that beauty. That's Mike has he's got the autograph down. That's the real deal right there. So that's a really cool card. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Theo. Those are going into my content creator file. And then I wanted to share a couple gifts that people gave me too before I jump into the cards. The first one is this. This was from Matt, The Card Story. So Matt's one of the most generous guys in the community. He's constantly giving people things. And, you know, he gave me this 1955 Golden Stamps Milwaukee Braves. Look at that. It's an authentic, it's a stamp. It's a 1954 Braves team. And that's just really cool, Matt. Really cool. So thank you, my friend. I love that card. And then John P. Collects. I was looking at a 1958 Carl Furillo, just because I like Furillo and I don't have any of his cards. And John said, I've got 2 of those at home, and I think it's better than that, so I'm going to give it to you. And when we got to John's house, this is the card he gave me. He gave me this beautiful 58 Carl Furillo. So John, you didn't have to do that, but this is a beauty. Like, centering's pretty solid, top to bottom's a little off, but the coloring is so cool. So thank you, John. I appreciate that. Day 1 at the at Strongsville, you know, the first thing I did actually. So I will tell you, there was a lot of great baseball there. Some of it was a bit pricey, but you know, it was well worth it because it was great stuff. But there was also some deals on football. So I picked up, just to get started, I picked a couple of these cards. So I picked up this 1972 second year Terry Bradshaw. You know, I'm a big vintage football fan. I love the 72 set. I do have this card already, but this one was in a little better condition. So I picked up this 72 second year Bradshaw. I also picked up this second year 72 Joe Green. And look at this card. Look at the coloring on that card. So there's another card I already had, but I don't think it was in this nice a condition. So I love these cards. All-time greats, Bradshaw and Terry Bradshaw, and look how good. At some point these are going to go in, and I was playing around. Look how good the color scheme on this is going to look in a tux someday. So was really excited to add that one. And then the last football card I picked up that day is this beautiful 72 Ted Hendricks rookie card. So this is a tough card to find in good condition, and you know, if the ones that grade out high are pretty valuable. He was a great football player, and I love the fact that I got this one. Then when I was looking at baseball cards, I went back to, I kept going back to the same spot, and I ended up getting a great deal on 2 cards. So for $205, I ended up getting these 2 cards. I got this beautiful 1958 All-Star Stan Musial in a 6. And just look at the card. Look at the coloring on that card and how it pops. I got this card for $65 in a 6. So I was so excited to get that card. And then for $140, I got this Frank Robinson rookie card, a 1957 rookie card. And, you know, I had seen 3 or 4 of them in the show, graded a little higher, and I thought this one looked every bit as nice, and literally got it for $140. And look at this card. It's just cool. I wasn't looking for the Robinson rookie card, but it was on my list of cards to get. And this is perfect for me because, you know, quite honestly, this isn't my favorite Frank Robinson card. I like the 58 and the 59 much better, but it's his rookie card, and he's such a great player, so I was able to grab that. So that was my first day at the show, pickups. But then that night, while we were at the get-together, some people were bringing cards in to sell, and B. Roth, great guy, brought his cards, and I picked up 4 cards from B. Ross. So the first card I picked up is this 1960 Ernie Banks. And this Ernie Banks is, it has a wrinkle across the front of it. It doesn't go all the way through, so it's not a crease, but it does have a wrinkle across the front. But outside of that, it's a really sweet card. And the reason I picked it up, of course, is he gave me a fantastic deal on these cards, but so this card was originally like priced at $20, and you know, with the deal it's probably in the neighborhood of $15. And you know, John and I are looking for an Ernie Banks for the next Bargain Hunters episode, so I did pick this up. The fact that I'm sharing it is I'm probably leaning towards a different card, John, but I'm holding this one in my back pocket. The next card I picked up from Brian is this beautiful Armin Killebrew card. So look at this card. I mean, the centering, you know, is off left to right, as you can see. And, you know, that doesn't bother me as much as it bothers other people. But look at the coloring on this card. This thing's a beauty. And, you know, I'm a big Killebrew fan. So I picked up this card. Look at the back. The back's pretty sweet. So Harmon Killebrew card, got that one from Brian. Picked up this beautiful 1964 Ernie Banks from Brian, and this one is really, really well centered. I saw this at the show, and they wanted a lot more than what I got this for Brian for, and it wasn't anywhere near as well centered. So this one's a beauty. This one I may end up grading at some point. Big Ernie Banks fan, and this was a beautiful card. And then the last card I picked up from Brian. So you saw earlier at my LCS, I picked up 2 Bob Gibsons, and then I got this beautiful 1960 second year Gibson. This is sweet. I mean, it's a little soft in the corners, but centering's pretty solid. Picture's just really vibrant. I've been wanting this second year Gibby for a while. So I picked that one up from Brian, and so thank you, Brian. I really appreciate that. So that was my day 1, right, at the show. Day 2, I was looking for a big card, and the big card I was looking for, really, I boiled it down to 2 cards. I either wanted the 69 Mantle or the 55 Jackie Robinson, and I was looking for those 2 cards. And I did pick up one of them, so I will share it with you in just a minute. But first, I saw this card, and I love the Kellogg's cards. This one is just a beauty. This is, you know, a 1972 Roberto Clemente. I saw this one in the case. Mike Moynihan was there at the time, and Mike helped negotiate like a 10% discount for it. I love this card, and I think it's just in fantastic condition. I can't wait to actually get this one graded. You know, it's a Clemente. I didn't have it, so I did pick up this beautiful Clemente. And then I went looking for the big card. And like I said, I was looking for the Robinson, and I was looking for the mantle. And it came down to, I found a decent Robinson in a 2, and I found a mantle, but I found a mantle in a little higher grade, so I went with the mantle. So when I was looking at the mantles, I saw all day, I was looking for the cards, and I couldn't find one I liked. And then I found a table that had five mantles, and John was a couple tables over, and Orlando. So I called them both over, and Orlando and John helped me decide which of the ones to grab. And this is the one I picked up. So I picked up the 1969 Mickey Mantle, yellow letters. You know, this one for me, it's in my top 5 list of cards I want, because I think I told you, as a kid, as an 8-year-old kid, I was breaking packs with my friend Mike Shannon, and he got a mantle card. And I have wanted one for my collection ever since. And I finally got this one. I'm so stoked. So that was my big purchase. This is my big purchase for the show, and I couldn't be any happier. So look at this card. It's centered pretty well. It's a beauty. So really excited to get the mantle. And that, I thought I was pretty much tapped. And, you know, I ran into, on the way, I was walking down aisle, and I saw Mike Moynihan, and I said, Mike, I'm pretty much tapped. And he smiled and said, me too. I've got $40 in my budget left in my pocket that I'm looking to spend, because why bring anything home, right? And we chuckled, but then I stopped to think, like, I did have $100 in my pocket, and I'm like, okay, why? I'm at this beautiful card show. Let's go see what we can find. And here's what I brought home for $100. I brought home this one was this Dan Marino rookie card. It's really well centered and has a vibrant picture. And it does have a little nick over here, and it's got a little bit of either a crease potentially over here. So it's not a perfect card, but for me, it's sweet. I didn't want to spend, I've always wanted a Dan Marino rookie card. I didn't want to spend a ton of money to get one. And this card, I think it looks fantastic. And then another card I had on my hit list potentially was this card right here. And it is the Joe Montana rookie card. And this I think is a really beauty. You know, it's a little off left to right, a little off top to bottom. Back centering is definitely off. So, you know, this isn't going to grade in the upper echelons, but this, for what I paid for it, should grade enough to actually be worth enough to pay for both of those cards. But more importantly, I grabbed the Joe Montana rookie, which was on my hit list for sure. So then I was about to leave the show. And, you know, while you're waiting, while other people are shopping, you keep seeing cards. That's the problem, right? So I remember I showed you these 2 cards earlier, right? Well, the one thing that when I went to the show, I went with a budget that I wanted to spend. And then my wife said, hey, why don't you pick yourself up your Father's Day gift? So these 2 were going to be my Father's Day gift. And I was showing them to Greg, Midlife Cards, and he said, that's a great idea, and that makes a perfect first half of your gift. I hope you're shopping for a second half. And it got me thinking that there was probably room, a little more room, in my Father's Day budget for one more card. And I saw this beauty, and I've been wanting it for a while. So I picked up this beautiful Deacon Jones rookie card in an SGC 6. So absolutely love this card. So I mean, that is really it. Those are the cards I picked up at the Strongsville show. I had a blast. I'm really happy with where I ended up. You know, this card, Deacon Jones, has been on my list for a while, my want list for a while. This card is definitely on my want list, and now I've got that one checked. This beauty was on my want list, so now I'll probably get this one graded. This is an amazing card. This one I just can't stop looking at, so I was totally excited about picking that up. And then finally, you know, there's the last two. How beautiful is that card? And then, of course, the Mickey Mantle. So really appreciate you guys letting me share my thoughts and my cards with you. For everybody that was at Strongsville, had a blast. Until I talk to you again, stay safe, keep collecting. Take care.